Welcome back, everybody, to Where's the Line? That's WTL, Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
The Parlay Pounder.
You got it, and I believe we have parlays in our future here, Andy.
All right.
This is the last segment.
Here we go.
So we're ready for some.
And we talked NFL, we got into college, now we got to get back to the NFL because we got a dynamite slate here. Sunday night, Monday night. And let's start with a banger of a matchup here. Everyone was circling this in the offseason like, there's going to be fireworks here. Is this high-flying offense going to be able to deal with this defense?
Possible Super Bowl matchup.
Yes, but it's kind of fizzled off. A little bit of that luster is lacking here after the last 2 weeks of the 49ers dropping some games here. Cincinnati is heading on out to San Francisco for a 3:25 p.m. That's going to be on CBS kickoff. San Francisco is a 3.5-point favorite. I don't think that line surprises anybody. Makes a lot of sense to me. That total is at 46.
Yeah, Andy, and I think the line has gone down on this.
Oh, it has.
Yeah.
It has. I'm looking at a consensus of 3. Most boards are posting 3.
Yeah, exactly, Andy. So, as you know, I'll probably stay with the 49ers on this one.
Yeah.
I think they're still the best team in the NFL, or one of the best teams, if not top 3. I don't think it's as big of a skid mark as people are putting it out to be to lose to the Minnesota Vikings on the road. Minnesota Vikings play very well in that in the Viking ship up there in Minneapolis. It's
U.S. Bank Stadium.
Exactly. And when you throw interceptions late, that's what's going to happen. You're going to lose games, especially if a defense, stands up to the 49ers like the Vikings did.
Vikings got their number. That's all the Vikings do is knock off top-tier teams.
Exactly.
I think the last game I was at up there was watching Jimmy G get smacked around, and Vikings beat the 49ers then.
They did. It was a crazy game that time, too.
It was. I like the 49ers in this spot, especially if this line is moving down. The look-ahead actually had this at a 5.5.
Exactly. That's where I saw when it opened, Andy, was the 49ers by 5.5. I think a lot of people are back on the Bengals, watching them kind of progress. And as for the Bengals, I imagine they'll look better here following an extra week of rest in preparation coming off the bye. Cincinnati really needs to spark their offense, though. Defensively, the team has given up 21 points per game, which is middle of the pack in NFL rankings. The lack of scoring has hurt, though. The Bengals have failed to hit 20 points in 4 of 6 games, which doesn't make sense for this star-studded trio of Mixon, Burrow, and Chase.
I mean, and Chase was missing those first 3 weeks.
Exactly.
And T. Higgins, I know he got dinged up, got bit by the injury bug, but where's he been?
Yeah.
I need him back.
Exactly. I just don't think that Cincinnati's really figured it out. I don't think Cincinnati can keep pace with the San Francisco 49ers team, especially when you got Christian McCaffrey and Ayuk and Kittle coming off a stressful loss when they know they should have won that game. So I believe San Francisco comes in here, puts pedal to the metal. I know it's a lot about what I said last week, but it's going to happen again with the 49ers. They're going to run all over this defense.
I got the 49ers covering here as well. Now that total has moved down. Also, I mentioned the 46. I'm looking at a consensus of 43.5 if I'm going by averages across all the different books that I'm looking at.
Exactly. And it came out at 45.5, 46 points when it hit the books. But it's a lot of people are putting that under because they really think the 49ers defense is going to be able to clamp down on this Bengals offense that hasn't been able to put up points. And I can't say that it hasn't. The San Francisco 49ers did not get a sack against the Minnesota Vikings. Bosa and company is going to be coming for that quarterback, especially in this one. So I really do like the under in this one, especially if you can get it at that 45 range. Once it gets down to 41, 42, that's going to be very hard to bet on. But if you can get it at 45, 46, anywhere in that range, definitely do it. I really believe the 49ers are going to keep it low-scoring Bengals pretty close there.
All righty. Should we move on to the Sunday night game?
Let's do it.
I can't wait to dive into this one.
Let's do it.
What it is, what's up? That's my Chicago Bears. They're heading on out to L.A., coming off a win. And this line is moving in the direction where, maybe you'd want to look at Chicago. When I was taking my notes just a moment ago, I was looking at 8.5. I'm looking at consensus 9. L.A. Chargers are a 9-point favorite at home, total of 46.
Yeah, Andy. I mean, you got to love it. I'm leaning towards the Bears here. I really am.
Boy.
Tyson Bagent, the undrafted rookie Division II guy.
Yep.
He looked good in the opener, Andy. He looked good in his opener.
Hey, when you're talking Division II, you're talking Shepherd University.
You're talking Shepherd University out of Shepherdstown, West Virginia. But really where I'm lying here, Andy, is I'm not sold on the Chargers right now. Sure, the Chargers have played some tough opponents, but the Chargers are only one loss ahead of the Bears right now, and Chicago has to be feeling good right now after their victory over the Raiders at home. I think the Bears can keep this one a one-score game. So give me the Bears. I like the points here.
And Badgett put up some serious numbers that are coming in for Fields. He led 3 touchdown drives.
Yeah.
Went 21 of 29 for 162 yards. Not gaudy numbers, but efficient numbers.
Yeah.
Also had a touchdown through the air. You mentioned how he's a Division II product, so nothing was given to this guy.
Yeah.
He was an unsigned free agent, right? And he's a rookie.
Yeah, no, he becomes the first Division II undrafted rookie to start an NFL game since 1950, Andy. And that's what you get when you get people like this onto the field. They're not trying to do anything too crazy. They're looking for their stars. They're looking for DJ Moore. They're looking for Cole Kmet. If you can get receptions on either of those two, do it.
Isn't that weird when you just kind of boil it down and say, hey, let's just go get positive yardage, good things happen. And how about Dante Freeman? I'm kind of getting on my Foreman, had a heck of a game. 89 yards, couple of touchdowns on the ground. That's why you brought the guy in from Atlanta.
Carolina last year. He kind of carried our offense the whole year. I know I grabbed him in all of my fantasy leagues and got me over 30 points this past week. So, no, I do believe they can grind it out against this team and get a couple big completions to those big guys, like I said, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. So, give me the Chicago Bears with the points.
And talking about the Chargers, isn't it something where everyone was so high on Herbert for so long? He couldn't do wrong. All the losses weren't his fault, and I just felt like the tenor flipped last week. After they lost that game, everyone's like, all right, somebody's got to say something about Herbert here.
Yeah, it just seems that he doesn't have the clutch factor when it comes down to, fourth quarter games. He's had so many chances in really tight games because they are a very good football team. They have very good weapons on both sides of the ball. So they're going to be in a lot of games, Andy, but it seems like they're always scratching and clawing at the fourth quarter to either, get the win or lose by, an interception or something like that. So he is not the leader that they thought he's going to be. That could change in the future, but I really do believe they're on thin ice here. Yeah. And one of these losses, especially to the Chicago Bears, can get that coach fired. So I really do believe that
is on the hot seat.
They're on thin ice right now, and I believe the Chicago Bears team might be able to do it.
And if this line just keeps on moving the way of the Chargers here, I'm going to get all over the Bears here, especially if it gets to double digits, which it looks like it might get there. I'm looking at a -9. Give me the Bears.
You have to.
The Bears.
The Bears.
All right, should we look at Monday night?
Let's do it.
We got to leave enough time for your parlay here as well.
We got time.
Okay, we got that time.
We got time.
The Las Vegas Raiders are heading on over to Motor City, Detroit to take on the Lions. Lions were so hot there after that first week loss, but now they're 5-2, getting dusted up a little bit there.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Lions as a 9-point favorite, however, over the Raiders after they got smacked around by the Bears last week.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, the Detroit Lions will have a little nasty taste in their mouth after throwing up on themselves against the Ravens last week. The Lions' previous loss this season, they followed it up by beating the Falcons by 14 points and allowing less than 200 yards.
Okay.
The Las Vegas Raiders are a bad football team across the board.
Poorly coached, too. Poorly coached.
That includes being ranked 30th in scoring offense and 22nd in scoring defense. It doesn't help if Jimmy G's, going to continue to miss time. It's a big line, but I have no use for the Raiders. With the current form and injury status, give me the Lions. Comfortable win here. They smoke them.
They smoke them. This line's getting expanded, though.
Yeah.
I was looking at 8.5, already moved to 9.
But multiple touchdowns, but for Lions is what I'm going.
And Detroit has been one of the safest bets over the last 1.5 seasons. They are 14-3. Let me say 14-3 against the spread their last 17 games.
Yeah.
You got to like Detroit.
You do.
And this is something where people are getting wise to it.
Yeah.
It's not just the sharp money now coming in on Detroit. Everybody's getting on Detroit. And this line can't climb fast enough for the books to keep up to it. Like
You
I
have
said, open up at 7.5, already at 9, and I think it's going to go north of 9.
It just will, Andy. So I really agree with anybody that's on the Lions right now. I have nothing for the Raiders. I just don't, especially if Jimmy G is going to miss more time, because that's really their only saving grace is if Jimmy G plays and he doesn't turn the ball over, they won't lose by as much.
Kind of a curious spot here. When I was looking at the totals, I've seen it come down a half a point across many of the different books that I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
So going from 46 to 45, and if you're thinking of kind of a blowout type of scenario here for Detroit, usually you see that over go up, not down.
Yeah, it's just that the Raiders can't score points, Andy, and that's the whole entire thing with it. I do believe that the Lions score a lot of points here, but I don't think the Raiders can do their part in this. I don't know if the Raiders score in this one. We might see a goose egg on Monday night for the first time in a while. I do not believe in anybody on this Raiders team except for Devontae Adams, who should be a Carolina Panther.
And if I see an offensive performance, I slid that right in there.
Yeah.
And if I see another offensive a performance like that in primetime Monday night, I'm going to be so mad at Roger Goodell. It's all his fault.
It's all his fault.
All his fault.
We should see the Chiefs every Monday night.
Fire that clown.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Parlay Pounder.
Yeah.
You got to have that parlay ready.
I do. I got two, actually. I'm going to lay one for player props only. So first player prop I got is Travis Kelce over a touchdown. That one is hitting for sure. And then I said it in the opening, Rachaad White under 49.5 rushing yards. And then to round this one out, I got Jordan Addison over 57.5 receiving yards.
Boy.
The books still aren't caught up to this guy. Putting $20 on that to win 100. Now for my 3-team parlay, actually, we got Nebraska covering that 2.5 points. Minnesota Vikings pick'em game, gonna win that game. And then to round it out, I got the Kansas City Chiefs minus 6.5 with the Denver Broncos. Putting $25 on this to win 132.
I was going to say, that's got to be a good payout.
Yeah. Run it back down. Nebraska by 2.5. Vikings pick'em. Kansas City Chiefs over the Denver Broncos by 6.5 points. 25 to win 132.
I like it. You got the Huskers in there. You also got the Chiefs in there.
Yeah.
And I like the player props. Kelce, 2 touchdowns, right? That's what you're saying?
No, just one.
Just
one touchdown. Anytime touchdown.
Easy money from the Parlay Pounder, folks. All right, that'll about do it for us this week. Be sure to follow us on ESPN Tri-City Radios and their Facebook page. We're also on Twitter, and that page is starting to grow. Got a lot of fun little short videos that we like to share with everybody on that. Our YouTube channel continues to grow. We're picking up subscribers and viewers, and we are loving it. And it's a great way for us to interact with you guys. Even when you throw a little shade at us after the Bears didn't cover, I saw a little message on there. What's up? I'm like, hey, Ronald, we'll get you back.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get you back,
exactly, man. If we're not putting wacky stuff out, we need to get chirped out. So we love it. So we love to talk to the fans. Love it when you guys chirp us as well.
And you got those daily free picks over on TikTok.
Yes, sir.
For Joe Braun, the Parlay Pounder, I'm Andy Klassen. Thank you for listening. This has been WTL.